Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Chat Manitas, for your help. I appreciate it. Alvarado Shurenzi, Glorious E, Kenneth Blingsley, Unconditional Love Taro, everyone. Jewel South. Okay, well, the major news this morning is the bombing of that building, and I believe in Qatar. I feel Netanyahu is basically in the process of destabilizing the Middle East, with Trump's help, of course. Intuitively, I feel it's a mistake, and it's going to come back to bite. And Netanyahu will face the consequences of this. He's going to keep winning for a little while. When I say winning, I shouldn't use the word winning. He's going to continue to get away with some of the stuff that he's doing for a little while. But intuitively, I feel within the next year, he will be stopped. The Israeli people will get the upper hand and redirect the policies of their country. But I don't expect this to be resolved overnight. But also, this is having a major effect on us as well, the United States. So, but I don't think Netanyahu is going to get away with this. For now, yes, the Israeli people will have the last word. Having said that, I am sure everyone have heard what the Supreme Court, the decision that they made yesterday. They made two decisions yesterday. One to allow Trump to fire the FTC member, the Democrat. What else is new? And like I've always said, the Supreme Court, any little thing they can find to give Trump a win, they'll do it. And that's what happened yesterday with the decision that came down allowing ICE to profile people. This is going to be bad. It's already bad. It's going to be worse. Because, you know, when you do these things, there are some members of these organizations that to them there is no limit. And they have their own biases. They're going to abuse people. And others are going to be driven, they're going to have other motivation, driving them to abuse others. So, but the main reason I'm bringing this up, I've mentioned this before, but this is showing intuitively, I feel, the connection. I've said it before, between all Republicans and the House, Senate, the influencers, the Supreme Court. Even if you, okay, let me rephrase that. None of those people are acting in a silo. People like, I forget his name. I will remember his name as we speak. He is the one, he's the glue that connect all these people. Even if you don't hear like Justice Robert, Trump, and the guy who's the head of the Senate right now, I don't remember his name, or Mike Johnson. Is that you guys? That's my YouTube phone. Hello? That's my YouTube phone. I don't know if it's one of you trying to get to me. I think everything is okay, sound, everything. Let me see. Let me scroll down. Yes. I'm looking to see if somebody posted the name of the person I'm trying to remember, but no. It's all right. I will remember it. there is a connection. Even, like I said, even if you don't see all those leaders, so-called Robert, Trump, the guy who's the majority leader in the Senate right now, and Mike Johnson, they don't meet, they don't talk. It's not, don't be fooled by that. Because the conversation is taking place among the lower people. They are bringing messages, exchanging ideas, and do all kinds of stuff. And also, I described to you last year the activities that Republicans were involved in. Their initiative is to take power and stay in power. And the Supreme Court is showing us they are no longer a neutral party. And Kavanaugh said something yesterday. Well, everything we do, we're not doing it for one administration. We're doing it on a high level, for every administration that follows. Oh, yeah, of course. What they are doing is they are framing the type of government that they want. Yes, they're going to tell us that they all know Trump is not going to be given his... let me rephrase that. Before Trump came back to the White House, they knew if he were to win, he wouldn't last very long. And Vance would have to take over. They knew that. Okay? And I've always told you, Trump is a means to an end. What is going on right now? All of them are involved. I feel, and to if that's the way I should put it. Senate Republicans, not all of them, but the majority of them, Republicans in the House. If you notice Republicans in the House, they don't care about their constituents. They complain, scream. In fact, one of them was so arrogant. He left the stage. He was talking to them. They were complaining. He left the stage and walked out through the back door. He didn't even talk to them. That's to show you. Okay? And Trump, if you see what Trump is doing, all those things, they have people behind the scenes that those things are already pre-planned on how to dismantle our election system, how to overcome any obstacles. They've captured the Supreme Court and everything else. The only department or agency, security force, they don't have in their back pockets, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, that what I'm feeling is correct, is the military. And I don't know how many of you watched Deadline White House, Nicole? Okay. Nicole Wallace, yesterday afternoon. Riley, and two other guests, the professor, the African-American professor from Princeton, I forget his name, sorry about that, and another gentleman. And Maya Riley said something. I'm like, has she been watching my videos? She said something to the fact that there is one entity. Well, though, before she said that, she prefaced that with asking, where are the generals? Milou, Kelly, and company who work for Trump, who knows? Like one of them said, Trump is a fascist. I believe it was Kelly. Okay? She's asking, where are these people? How come they're not saying anything? And then she said, the only entity right now that can stop this whole thing is the military. And I believe she says, when are they going to say something? When are they going to stand up? Something to that effect. I didn't say it exactly the way she said it. I did say that there is communication taking place among former high-level, people from our government. They are talking because they too are in shock as to what's going on. But intuitively, Maya Riley is correct. I mean, I'm sure she's well connected. Okay, she knows what she's talking about. And she said something. I'm glad she said it because I didn't have a percentage to put out there. She says 11% of the military are white supremacists. And I wasn't surprised because, like I've been saying, I call these people MAGA because not everyone who voted for Trump are MAGA or, racist. That's a given. They do it because they thought Trump was going to change the economy because he lied to them. But the MAGA base, okay, I expected, in fact, I expected it to be larger than 11%. So I was happy when I heard, in the military, it's only 11%. Oh, I have a story to tell you guys, but towards the end, it's funny. But intuitively, the way Trump is going, and he's not going to stop, I've said that over and over again. He's looking for anything to invoke the Insurrection Act. I didn't know Kennedy invoked the Insurrection Act until this morning I was reading it. Trump may try to do something similar. In fact, the name of the article is, no, they explain it in that, I don't have I wanted to give you the name of the title of the article where I read that Kennedy did something similar. I believe it was when they were integrating schools in the South, and he did, he invoked the Insurrection Act, something like that. And Trump may try to do something like that, but intuitively, like I said yesterday, the Supreme Court is going to learn a lesson. I feel the military felt it has lost. Thank you very much, Miss Amanda 539 for the generosity on the super chat. I appreciate it. They're going to step up because a lot of people at the military understand, the leadership, what dictatorship is all about. And they are all well read. Well, not all, but most of them. Let's put it this way, okay? I should say all of them. Just like Millie and Kelly recognizes where Trump is at, among others, they know. And also they understand where Trump and the Republican can take this country. And some activists, they are doing an amazing job as well, educating people. If on YouTube, there are a number of them that are educating people. In fact, that's one thing the person who wrote the article about what Trump is taking the country and potentially how the military is going to have to step in, or if he imposes the Insurrection Act, okay. He didn't say what I am saying. I am making my prediction based on what he said. Involving the military is not going to do what Trump wants, firing on the rest of us. And like I've said once before, yes, there are my guys in the National Guards as well. Yes, those will execute Trump's illegal orders to fire on civilians. Trust me, if it gets to that point, that's what's going to happen. But hopefully, it may not. Guys, remember the dream I told you I had? There was a gunfight somewhere. But something Newsom and Governor Pritzker have been saying, this is a con job. What Trump is doing, using crime as a cover. He wants to mess around with the election in order for Republicans to stay in power. But you see, there are a couple of major variables. The biggest one is the Epstein file that's been released. I don't know how many of you saw. This is so disgusting. It's unbelievable. I thought the people from Midas Touch, because I saw it I went on X this morning to see if I'm missing anything before I started streaming. Before I started the show. And Midas Touch, the channel, has posted a copy. I don't know how many pages the book has. I was trying to download it, but I couldn't. I'm sure somewhere I'm going to have to well, I don't know if I want to download it because it's pretty disgusting. It's unbelievable. This book shows the depravity of Epstein and the people who are taking part. I don't want to get into detail because it's the turn-off to me. I'm no prude, but this is, I don't no, a little too much for me. I don't think Trump and the people around him and the Republicans in Congress are prepared for the blowback those files are going to generate. They are trying to tell people Trump is anointed by God, and he's going to deliver us from whatever it is, from calamity. Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. I forgot to turn off the background noise. Yes. And to whatever I feel, this Epstein book, and Trump this morning declared that stuff is over. It's not going to be over. That potentially is what's going to prevent us from that disastrous point Trump is trying to, he's trying to incite violence in order for him to declare, or, the Insurrection Act. This Epstein scandal has the potential to stop this whole thing dead, meaning what Trump is trying to do. Because, like I said before, this thing has legs. But I'm going to say one more thing. It's about to take a life of its own. And I predicted a long time ago, and I mentioned it yesterday. It's worth mentioning today because it's part of what I'm saying. Most Republicans in Congress and in the Senate, they will lose their seats over this. And Republicans will be in the wilderness for a very long time. Because, at least a generation. First of all, the oppressed, there is a lot of connection people are going to make. Okay? After once this whole Epstein stuff gets into those who have not been paying attention, they see the book and the stories that's being told, Epstein selling Trump a woman for a well-used woman or something like that for $22,000 and change. These things are propagating. I mean, we all know. The reason why I say it's going to take a life of its own is because do you see how Republicans are treating women, anti-abortion? They're not supposed to take any pills or anything. All those craziness they're trying to impose on women. that's going to be another level. Okay, and this thing, it's not only women that's being disgusted, that's getting disgusted over the book, and other initiatives they're trying to take to suppress women among us guys who love women. Okay, intuitively I feel the coming weeks is going to be very telling where this is going to go, because Democrats are fighting, and the vice chairman of the I don't remember his name right now. He's of Hispanic descent. He just got promoted recently. I forget the name of the subcommittee or committee, but you guys know who I am talking about. Thank you very much, Sophia TC. Thank you for your insight. Do he steak in Doha? Yes. May they be Thanksgiving the plane and red carpet. Trump have greenlit Israel. Yeah, he did. We'll talk about that. I mentioned that earlier. But yes. Let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But I don't think it's going to be good for Trump. This thing has the potential to sink everything, change the course of Project 2025. Intuitively, my prediction is it's going to be dead in the water. And then protest, the number of people that are going to be taken to the streets and declare they want their democracy. They don't want kings. This is going to be very interesting what's to come, intuitively, I feel. Okay? I know some of you are, afraid because I mentioned the Trump plan, and intuitively I told you what the outcome is going to be. But I'm telling you what's in the newspapers and that are coming out. We have to know. But intuitively, I feel either way, this won't succeed. And I'm sure you guys have heard about the farmers. How Trump basically is destroying their lives, and they voted for Trump. That's going to create a whole other level of people pissed off at Trump and his regime. I have no word to explain, well, why he took this route, why people around him chose to collaborate. Well, I guess it's easy because they don't have a plan. It's easy to adopt somebody's plan, and since they're a bunch of racists anyway, why not implement Project 2025? Because I was reading it the other day. They have a plan for minorities. Just like Vince has been saying, they're going to have degrees of citizenship. Or if they have their way, they will implement all those things. But we have a lot of good people in this country, and that's what's going to save America. Americans are fair-minded, they are open-minded, they recognize the contribution of immigrants to this country, because this country was formed from slavery and everything, on the backs of immigrants. Okay, I know, don't get me wrong, I made a rephrase that. African Americans were not, they were brought here as slaves. That's a whole different story. I'm not an expert in that, or I know the history in my country. I know a little bit about what happened here, but I want to make sure I let people know I mean something else. Immigrants help build this country, but not according to a Republican, No. He's the grandson of immigrants, but according to him, we have to keep it a certain color. But we'll get into that discussion another time. But I don't want anybody. The point I'm trying to drive at is, don't be afraid. I know it's not looking good, and mostly it's discouraging to see how the Supreme Court is collaborating. You expect a whole bunch of smart people. Did you guys? And the other thing that confirmed what I'm saying is Amy Coney Barrett. She was being interviewed yesterday, and they asked her, I'm just going to paraphrase, according to the Constitution, Trump should only serve 2 terms. How does she feel about him running for a third term? She couldn't answer, and it's not the only thing she has not been able to answer. I was looking at her, and also there was something else. I don't remember the other question she was asked the other day, either yesterday or the day before yesterday, and she did not give a straight answer either. And I was looking at her. When you look at somebody, you're watching, you're paying attention to you're reading their energy, basically. It is because conversations is taking place behind the scenes. Okay. About how they're going to go about changing our democracy to a unitary presidency or the whim of one individual. You would think, well, she's not going to, I guess, since she's, promoting her book, that's why she's giving so many interviews. She doesn't want to put herself out there, but I don't think that's the case. And to a degree, it's because they are talking among themselves how much leeway they're going to give Trump unless they really, really, really have no cover. They're going to have to, make a decision against him. But other than that, they're going to allow him to do everything he can to execute Project 2025 and the unitary presidency that Republicans want in order for them to stay in power forever or for as long as they possibly can. That's what this is all about. But I don't feel it's going to work. And yes, I mentioned the Epstein effect. The Epstein situation is going to have, that's one thing I feel that can blow this whole thing out of the water. I mean, the protest, and also there is a lady, I don't remember her name. I think I should start compiling those channels that explain to people how to get involved. You don't have to do anything major, but get to know people in your area who believe in the same things that you do. Take part in different activities so that we don't get depressed and feel, oh, we are all alone, because we are not. Those type of people, and also they teach how to go about, our rights. And also like that article I mentioned earlier that explained how Trump and Republicans, what they are planning to do to take over this country. And we have to know our rights. And at the end of the article, the person says, get ready to take to the streets. We may have to do that in order for us to save democracy. Because Republicans' plan, it's not only Trump. I've been saying this for a long time. But wait a minute, they're finally coming around to what I've been saying. It's not only him, his family, and Republicans, but they're just late to the game. If they were listening to this channel since January 2024, well, they would think I'm nuts anyway. But that's what we're seeing unfolding. But something I feel like saying? I don't have proof of this, Well, I haven't seen it written anywhere. And to believe that something that's telling me action is selecting a group of people or creating a unit in the military to do Trump's bidding. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'm picking up something else. But there is something like that afoot. But that won't help them either. Nope. What's going to save us, I feel, the last stop, and it's because what Kelly, Milou, and other leaders, those who work for Trump or have dealt with him, have written about and talk about, the people in the military are listening as well. They don't want the country to head in that direction. Politicians don't care. Money and power, most of them. Okay? And I'm glad Democrats are finally. Does anybody know the name of that young gentleman who's in that committee that investigating? Thank you very much, Phoebe Figalili, Park Rose Permaculture. There is another one. Thank you for posting this. There is a young, he's from California. I forget his name. This guy takes no prisoner. He's of Hispanic descent. I'm looking to see if somebody got his name. No, but I am glad him and a couple of other Democrats, Crockett, yes, all these people, by the way, are going to be part of the new January 6th, another investigation, an investigative team. They have all the right people, and that Democrats, that is, Republicans, put it together, and they, I guess, they asked for Democrats to take part. They have the right people, the right representatives, and that because they have Solwell, Crockett, that gentleman I mentioned. He's the vice chairman of the subcommittee that's investigating the Epstein stuff. That's the way we have to go to meet Republicans halfway, because they didn't expect, Republicans that is, for Democrats to change posture. They thought Democrats were going to continue to be the same way. Oh, well, let's try to be gentlemanly, gentlewomanly, okay, let's do this just like Schumer did last year, realized it would put the country in a bad light if he didn't, allow the budget to go through. Okay. He was trying to make deals the old way of doing things. Republicans don't care. And I'm sure you guys have heard it from Morning Joe and other Republicans. They are in the game to win, and at any cost. That's where we are. But this time, following Trump is going to cost them. It's going to blow up the party, and a lot of them will be voted out of Congress. I predicted this 6 years ago. I don't remember exactly. I did not know why. Usually I don't know why I say things. That's what's coming. Because I can see them already sitting, giving interviews about how they screwed up. I made a mistake, I thought. Oh, I didn't think, they were that serious. They were, Trump was going to do these things. Baloney, they knew. Most of them know exactly where Trump is going, and they are okay with it. And that includes the majority in the Supreme Court. And obviously, the notion that Kavanaugh is saying, well, if ICE mistreats somebody, they can sue or they can go to court. And also he's saying, well, if you're an American, they grab you. All you have to do is, tell them you're an American. They let you go. Yeah. He expects us to believe that that's how out of touch these people are. thinking they can fool the rest of us. They're so smart. They can fool the rest of us. They're going to wake up. Because the direction this is going, they won't realize it. Although they are frightened, they won't realize it until it's too late. By that time, they will be ineffective. People won't listen to them. If it gets to that point, if the Epstein file stuff doesn't blow up this whole thing. And that's what Trump is aware of. That's why this morning he declared the Epstein investigation is over or something like that. He's not going to be able to stop it. And some of the stuff that are coming out are so devastating to him. And his lies. I've always said his lies will sink his boat. Yeah. MAGA will, not all in MAGA will turn on him. But this is going to be too much, because the other thing that I feel, do you guys remember there was a young lady that disappeared? She said that she was Trump abused or something to that effect. Watch. I'm not sure how this is going to resurface. But yeah. And as I'm saying this, I'm seeing Ghislaine. She's going to put back on whatever prison she came from. These people don't stand a chance. Like my father always said, they're just giving enough rope. The American system gives you enough rope to hang yourself. And that's what's coming. That's my prediction. So hang in there. To anyone, don't be afraid. I'm letting you know, if you read those things, what the outcomes are. Just buy popcorn. That's what I do. I'm stacked up with popcorn. Okay, let me look for questions. Otherwise, I can speak here like. Martin H. says, Milou, actually, it was Lawrence O'Donnell, guess, who is a defense attorney who won 99% of his cases against the government, who told, oh, yes. No, that was one person. Yes, you're right. Yes. He made a statement, like you said, who told the Oversight Committee how to get the files from Jeffrey Epstein estate. Yes, you're right. What I was saying is, but I'm glad you mentioned that, because I did not try to explain how they got to that. But you're right. You are correct, Marilyn H. The lawyer helped. I don't remember the name of that committee that's investigating the Epstein file. That's how Representative Karam, I can't pronounce his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. He realized, this is how I can go and find the information to, well, at least, on top of it, they're going to be meeting with the Epstein team or something like that. Sometimes this week, and guess who's going? Crockett is going to meet with them and staff, because that's what we don't see, the interaction of this, people's staff. And the staff people, they're not just, they have staff people that are really, really brilliant when it comes to the law, how government works, everything. These representatives are not superstars because they have dummies working for them. A lot of those staffs, they know their stuff and they know their way around Washington, D.C. And some of them, they have nefarious reasons, but they are they want to destroy this country or what we have now. They are part also of the Heritage Foundation that's creating all those things. Yeah, but Oversight Committee, thank you very much, Sharon Jones, Oversight Committee. Robert Garcia, that's the representative I couldn't remember his name. Robert Garcia is the one, he takes no prisoner. And that's the way you have to do it. And I feel he'll succeed. Yes. Oh, Lord, Mary Lady says, love Jasmine Crockett. Me too. They have a number of Democrats that are coming out and they are not taking any prisoners. And I like their approach. Give me the facts. It's in the music. Hi, Milou, do you see the Epstein victims actually publishing the Epstein customer list? Oh, yes. But do you guys remember I told you a while back, the victims are going to get together? That's what's happening. Yes. And so there are a lot, well, obviously, it's in the news. There are many more of them that are reaching out to, there are a lot of victims. Oh my God, did you guys, there's one thing I've not mentioned. This thing was not on the national level. I'm sure you guys have heard, but it's worth mentioning. This whole trafficking stuff, it was international. I did not realize that until yesterday it dawned on me. This is really bad, and Jasmine Crockett is the one that she confirmed it for me last evening when she started talking about how some people, okay, they met some people. It's because of the international, they were talking about modeling, all that kind of stuff. Modeling agencies. Oh my God, you guys. This is going to be epic. But I'm hoping, as I'm saying this, the picture I'm seeing, when somebody, when they drop a bomb, and then you have shrapnel all over the place, and dirt and debris, that's the potential of what the Epstein situation can create in the Republican Party. And it's going to be devastating to them. That's my prediction. Let's see if there are questions, otherwise I'll let you guys go. Okay. Yes, the ID says it's global. I didn't, with many world leaders. Yes, well, it's not only with world leaders. You're right, with the world leaders. It never dawned on me that someone would do something like that on the international level. And there is a young, unbelievable, he bought a young girl, Epstein that is. There's a report. Do you know how devastating this might have been for that young lady? I don't know what happened to her. But he bought her from her parents. I was speechless when I heard that yesterday. But Crockett is going to get to the bottom of this. Okay. Midwich says you had TGE, Prince of England, involved. Yes, I heard about that. How much international can you get? Well, because you're right. What confused me, they come here. Sometimes they are here, we don't even know. And, rich people, they all, the commonality, the common, thing among them is money. Once you have money, doors are open, So I thought he was taking part, okay, since he's not thinking clearly, he never thought this would come out. He was going to be a bad boy, but it's, well, I'm sorry. I couldn't fathom this. And even if I saw it, I'd have great difficulty saying I'm seeing this. Because what I'm seeing from that book, and I know it's just that probably only scraped the surface of what was going on among Epstein and his clients. It's pretty disgusting. I would be very afraid to say if I were to if I was shown something like that. Yeah. All right, guys. Michelle had says, tell true funny story, Milou. It's in the mix. Says, Milou, do you think this will bring the monarchy to a close with Andrew involvement? I don't think so. Because they already sidelined him. So, and they did that for a purpose. Charles did that for a purpose. So, I don't think that's going to bring him down. I mean, it's a black eye. But, you know, the guy, I mean, I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. People like that. It's not that because you can't meet women. What's wrong with women? Who wants to have anything to do with a 21 or a 14-year-old? Are you kidding me? Anyway, thank you everyone for spending time with me. Thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. I hope I didn't get carried away or too carried away, because some of the stuff that I'm seeing and hearing is out of this world. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmilou.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. If you like the channel and I'm still shooting for 1 million, that's my goal, and you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it. That would help me a lot. If you would like to support the channel, that would be very helpful as well. Also, don't forget to tap on the notification bell if you subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. That would help me a lot. I will see you all tomorrow, unless something major happens later, but I doubt it. Otherwise, tomorrow, everyone, thank you for spending time with me. Thank you, chat managers. Bye.